and it's Sunday night, and it's kind of late, but I had the most amazing day today. Today was one of my favorite Sundays. I got to go to Our Lady of Guadalupe in Delano, California, and it was everything that I remembered. It's a very special place, and um, I I did things like I normally do, but as often is the case, it went a little cattywampus. So I wanted to share part of it with you. Um, I arrived at 10 o'clock, and it turns out that Our Lady of Guadalupe is quite remarkable in that it has six services on Sunday and two on Saturday, and they are, even without coronavirus, they are packed. It is unlike other church services that I've been, or Catholic churches that I've been to, which have primarily been very urban and or suburban. This church is a rural agricultural church that is whose congregation is almost exclusively farm workers, and as such, they um, they have most of the services are done completely in Spanish, which I, is part of the surprise from today. What ended up happening is I went to 10 o'clock like I have done on all three of my previous church, the previous trips. And it turns out that that's usually the English version. They've switched it up, and now it was the Spanish. And it turned out to be quite a nice surprise because in addition, they've expanded and they have a new vicar pro tem, which I didn't know was a thing. And the Father Marlon Alfara was doing the sermon. So at 10 o'clock this morning, it was 85 degrees already, and 180 was the AQI. So it was very smoky, and and they had set up at least 10 or 11 large tents with chairs, and they socially distanced, and it was they went down two wide corridors of seating. It was there were people in every seat. It was packed, and they delivered what was the longest homily I've ever seen in a Catholic church, 45 minutes. Father Alfonso preached, and it was in Spanish. So I was kind of hearkening back to the little bit that I knew from high school, and there was a lot of frutas and a lot of primeros, and so I kind of determined for myself that it was all about fruits. Anyways, it was remarkable. I have so much admiration and appreciation for the work that they do and the conditions under which they do it. And had an opportunity to speak with Carmen Lara, who is the English liturgist. And I think you're going to enjoy, and she'll give you a flavor for what the coronavirus and some of the new challenges that they're experiencing here at Our Lady of Guadalupe. I have entitled this Our Ladies of Guadalupe because going back in history, every time I do an interview here, the priests always kind of hand me off to the women who kind of make things run at this church. So I hope you enjoy. Here's Carmen. Describe in one word how you're feeling in advance of this election.
How I feel? Troubled.
Good. And when I was here the last time, I got to talk to Linda Ortiz.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was describing. I know it was a very different time. It was 2016, and she had some concerns because the children were nervous about the election, and she was sharing those concerns with me. But mostly, this is a very vibrant church. You do 6 services on Sunday.
Um, every time I have been here, they are packed, which is remarkable. So what I'd love to know is, do you have any special needs that have arisen in the last 4 years? Um, anything that, if you could tell the incoming administration that they could do for you to make things better for your community, what would those be?
One of the problems we're having at the church, and it's been ongoing, we're our parishioners are mostly field workers. So we're a poor parish, but we make do with a lot of fundraisers that we have. And when this pandemic hit, our financial situation just got worse. So one of the things is we need to get our parishioners involved, not just in coming to our masses and our events, but also to help out. Because when we count our money, most of the money is $1 bills. I think when a $10 bill comes in, we all get excited, and but we had a fire here right when Father Miguel got here, and we were barely getting out of that situation, just getting it completed and all. And then we get the pandemic, and so we have a bill now with the diocese that we're trying to pay. We've had to cut the hours of our employees, and we had to let our custodian go. One of our priests got hit with the virus, and the other priest had a brother that passed away from the virus. And so, as it is, the Catholic churches are in a shortage of priests anyway, and it was just so sad to see that we couldn't have a service, not even the outdoor service, because there was no priests around.
We've been watching the numbers, and it seems like the Central Valley has been hit particularly hard. I'm sorry for that experience. Um, are you getting from the local government? Are you getting any resources to help with for families that are particularly hard hit with the coronavirus? Or?
One of our committee members that we were supposedly getting to build a new church bigger than this one. And that's on hold because everything we have has to go into our current needs. But since we're not getting the income for renting of the hall and for weddings and all this other venues that we had, the only thing we have right now to help the community is that one committee member with other community people get calls to go pick up food from certain places, and they bring enough. We've never just worried about our parish. We've always been here for Delano community, McFarland, Early Martin, Ridge Grove. So our doors have always been open. If we can help, we've always, done so.
Carmen, thank you.
Okay.